Hi everyone, Soul017 here. Let me assure you, as usual, I do not own these pictures. Made the thumbnail, and this is an unpaid video. So, why did I think of this? As I already said, a while back, probably like last month. Yeah, last month. It came up because of a video. And, yeah. And it's been kind of hard to think of how could it make it work. And that's why I took like probably 2 months, not 2 months, 2 weeks to figure it out. Like, I kept on trying to brainstorm ideas, see what would work, see what wouldn't, see what would make sense, and I kind of decided to do this. Cell is gonna train Naruto, and he's gonna be like a father figure, but there is gonna be a slight twist to this whole entire experience, because, I mean, I thought it would be kind of a way more of an interesting idea for Cell to be, well, you'll find out very soon. So yeah, let's just get into this. I've also been kind of like lazy. Also been playing Breath of the Wild because I want to, and I've been because my friend and me were playing Tears of the Kingdom. And I wanted to play Breath of the Wild again. So, yeah, I've been playing on my own, and that's why I've also kind of think of some other ideas for a Zuko Link reincarnation, and I'm just gonna be everything after Breath of the Wild's gonna be, or should I say Tears of the Kingdom, since that seems like a better option to go for. So yeah. But I may be making the Gilgamesh Deku, and then the probably my one what if that I did make the thumbnail yet for. So yeah, it's still Naruto. It's just gonna be that one's kind of a iffy, to be honest, right now, because I keep on also trying to brainstorm ideas and what will make sense, what wouldn't. So yeah, but anyways, let's get into this video. This is oh yeah, by the way, this is after Cell's defeat by Gohan, like vaporizing him. Instead of him going to the afterlife in Dragon Ball, you'll see. So, this is basically part 1 of what Naruto was trained by Cell. So, let's get into this. Oh yeah, by the way, I may make Cell be like, because I know how Cell personally is. He's evil, he's overconfident, condescending sometimes to basically his opponents, mocking them, and then basically when he reaches perfection form, he basically acts like, superior to everyone. But I do like to have a little bit of humor to my what ifs, so I may make him basically sound like the bridge by Team 4 Star and this one YouTube channel that helped me basically always laugh and keep a smile on my face for a long time. Devil Artemis. So yeah, so I may make some references to, not references, but maybe makes out at like that version of him, but I don't really know. All I know is I'm gonna make him the way I feel like it can be in this, and yeah. But I would recommend watching both of those videos from Devil Artemis and Team 4 Star. I would recommend them. They are pretty. That basically the Dragon Ball bridge was pretty interesting to watch. So, yeah. Anyways, let's get into it. So, as we all know, Cell is defeated by Gohan, and he is on his way to the afterlife to meet King Yama. But something happens. Instead of him basically being in front of King Yama, he's automatically in a palace, sitting down in front of a table when he looks at somebody sipping tea. He will basically be just disoriented at first, and then he's like, what the? Why that? Just, where the hell am I? And, well, yeah. As this person stopped sipping tea, she was like, oh, good, you're awake. He goes, excuse me, I'm sorry if I'm sounding a little bit, well, actually, no, I'm not even sorry at all, but who the heck are you? And why am I even here? I'm supposed to meet, I don't know, this afterlife being. Which she goes, well, I may have talked to basically the person who was gonna say if you basically deserve to go to the heaven or basically your underworld or AKA. He goes, I get what I said earlier. Where she nods. He just sighs and we're like, and what was this talking about? For me, the perfect being to basically come to your, well, sight, whoever you are. She goes, oh, well, I go by many names, and I can basically change my form any way I want to. As then she changed her form to be a male. In this, he now will say, in this world I go by Kami, or Kami. As in, basically, go back to female. Which, Cell's just blinking, and he goes like, so, wait, you're a god? Which, Kami nods. He goes, huh. So, am I going to die again by your hands of something I've done to you to offend you? Or am I just go back to my world and basically just go back to where I belong, which is an underworld version of, Which, Kami nods, no. He goes, okay, why can't I not move? Which, she kind of chuckles and she says, quite simple, I restrained you. Which, Cell kind of glares at her. He goes like, give me one good reason why I shouldn't Kamehameha you away. Or better yet, just destroy you. She goes, well, you can't really kill me since basically you are from another world and basically I am way more powerful than you. 2, I need you here to basically, as then she gets serious, instead of being in like a little jovial mode she was in, help out somebody. Something that has been going on that fate did not decide to do. Which Cell quirks up and Cell just looks up basically with a non-existent eyebrow, basically quirking one. He goes, really? What may that be? Well, I know who you are, Perfect Cell. I know what you've done. I know how you think and how you act. I watched it. And to be quite fair, it is your programming, and you basically have 2 people, or should I say one person that is pure evil inside of you, DNA-wise, and you're basically a machine. He goes, android. Whatever. Same thing to me. Which that kind of irritates a bit of Cell, but he keeps quiet. She basically then says, but your talent and your skill, if basically you trained your power instead of just basically saying you were the perfect being and actually properly trained yourself, you could have been way more powerful than Gohan. Which that actually kind of infuriates him because Cell was killed by a kid, but still that actually raises an eyebrow. He goes, wait, what do you mean by I could have been? She goes, oh, well, you do have 2 basically sans blood, DNA inside of you, Gohan. Not Gohan, Goku, sorry, my dyslexic kitten, alright? Goku, Vegeta, and then Frieza. It's another added bonus. And basically Piccolo. Which, what I'm getting at what you're saying is, due to basically the Saiyans basically always coming back from near death, and basically Piccolo's intelligence and Frieza's untapped potential, that I'm assuming you say he has along with Goku and Vegeta, I could have technically become the most powerful being on the planet if I properly trained. In which she nods. But due to that, your incompetence and basically your, ego, you basically died. To a kid, no less. As then she says back in that cheerful tone she has, which Cell literally thinking, I want to blast her and kill her and go where I need to go. This has been a long day already. So, she can see basically Cell's, non-amused face and irritation. She just sighs. She basically then says, well, as I said, fate did not decide this for the boy, but the people of his village has. Which Cell goes like, so a child. She nods. What is so special by this insignificant person that I, the perfect Cell, need to go and what? Help? Train? Look after him like a father? Which, I may add, I literally destroyed towns when I was in my non-perfect form, my first stage. Which she does nod, but she goes, but unlike you, these people basically, as she just sighs and snaps her fingers, and then a video of Naruto's life plays, showing who his parents were and him basically getting information of who they are, and then basically what has happened to the boy, to Naruto. Basically, calling for his death, not him being even a year old, basically how the people treat him, and something in Cell, something triggers fury, anger, rage. This never happened to before. This emotion, as basically after it basically is played up to where the point he is now, he goes, I am many things. I am a monster. I am a being of mass destruction. I am evil. Pure and simple. But what they done to him, ostracize him, basically belittle him, and basically overprice him for food that he needs and give him rotten food and the beatings. That is unforgivable. Even Frieza may actually treat him better. Heck, Frieza actually may see the potential of him, take him into his care, and just blow up the planet. Heck, actually, he may just blow up the planet anyways, sparing the poor boy any more suffering. Which, Cammy can really see how Cell's irritated by this. As then she smirks. She goes, oh, it looks like you're awakening. He goes, awakening what? What do you mean? She goes, well, Fate has also intervened at least a good number of times, but the most irritation to the Shinigami was when Fate took the soul of somebody and literally basically reincarnated them into a distant world beyond the Shinigami's grasp. Only where Fate is basically universal or multiversal, so Fate is everywhere and knows all. So, she reincarnated you, Cell. Which he's just blinking. He goes, wait, so you mean to tell me I'm a reincarnation from this world? Just, to be fair, Fate didn't really basically precisely make you into an android, but due to some basically factors that Fate saw, it was best. And basically she told me, and I basically brought you here due to that. So he goes, wait, are you going to? She goes, nope, I'm not telling you anything. You're going to figure that out on your own. Oh, and Cell, you may have been basically Cell in the Dragon Ball, multiverse or universe. I don't want to say it, but here you were someone else. You were not evil, but a very kind person. As then he just rolls his eyes and be like, let me guess, I am going to get back my humanity. Which she not, but I'm still going to let you be an android. I'm still going to let you have your potential that you have not awakened yet, and you're still going to basically have the DNA of Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, and Frieza, along with one other thing, nanites in your body. Which Cell raised up a non-existent eyebrow again and asks, what do you mean? This will only be a one-time use. You see, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze is having a difficult situation at the moment where he may die, and time is slow, basically, down there than here. And this is why I brought you here, to basically save him and train him. Maybe be a father figure. In which Cell kind of basically looking at her, or / him, basically with a little bit of anger, but then determination, which kind of shocks her. He goes, Because in his mind, in that split second, he goes, me, look after a weakling child that basically could. As then he basically remembers what he just saw a few minutes ago, and he goes, no. I may be many things, but that boy does not deserve this. Why am I so... does not matter. So he shows the determination, and he goes, fine. I'll protect the boy, and I'll raise him. But that village, as you saw, would not let me take care of him unless I'm blood related to him. So, I'll require 3 to 4 things out of this. 1, to gain the DNA of Uzumaki. Basically, be somewhat related to his mother, cousin side. Which she nods. 2, basically, fabricate my existence in this world to make sure, basically, people would think I actually existed but mysteriously disappeared. 3, also, basically, saying I've been around the world with the daimyo of the fire country knowing my existence, and... what the... sorry, I just heard creaking. Ugh. So, yeah, anyways. And 3, basically, the fire daimyo know my existence and such, and basically because of Kushina Uzumaki, basically showed me the fire daimyo, introduced me to him. And 4, and lastly, which basically she would nod, I very figure give me basically a human form, or my previous form, but I would like to basically know about this world and what inhabitants they have. Which she would information. Yes, I'll give you all of that. As she basically goes up and basically touches Cell's head, and he gets all the information of, chakra, how it was basically became, chakra was brought to the world and such, how basically it has advanced, and basically even medical knowledge. And basically how to, make a proper diet. Which, and many other things. Basically, stuff to basically make him on the side, on the medical side, he's on the level of Tsunade Senju, or even above her. And basically give him chakra, basically of a Uzumaki, and we'll give him basically at least Jonin chakra control, but not basically with his reserves and his ki, he's still able to use. The ki he can use, but the chakra control is, good for Uzumaki, but he needs to have cage chakra control, get it perfect. So he still got to put the hard work, which is going to be a lot of hard work for Cell. But because he has Goku, Vegeta, Frieza, and Piccolo is basically DNA still, he's still going to be able to, progress very quickly in this, but not too quickly. So, after that, he does say, headache. Alright, what else? I think that's all. Which shows good. So she snaps a finger and reality changes. Basically, Cell's form changes into his original look, but a very strong genjutsu will come on, will be on him, which Cell would raise up an eyebrow. This time he goes why is this a different look from my previous one? The one I turned into after. She goes, oh, quite simple. You need to remember who you are, so to prevent you from remembering right away and causing some problems for yourself, I decided to basically put a highly skilled genjutsu around you to make you look different. You see, you are basically having green hair right now, which your old look is still going to have green hair, as basically she brings up a mirror, and she basically says, I looked for the multiverse and many different worlds, and I found this look to be perfect from you. By the way, I do not own One Piece, I do not own the character Zoro, I do not own anything from it, but to be fair, I was trying to give a look that would look, somewhat similar to Cell, but different in many different ways, but, just keeping the green hair. As then, basically, Cell looks like Zoro. You like, basically, someone called Ranano Zoro, which you basically goes I see. So, Am I able to still keep my ki and use chakra separately? Which she nods. And also, you basically, you basically, as you already know what you're going to do, he goes, yes, save the boy and give him my blood. The Nun Knights would do the work and change his DNA to become a Saiyan, basically a Namekian, and Frieza's race. And that I will have to work on him and everything. With the basic ki control to basically master his chakra along with his ki. And teaching him basically techniques that I know of. And create more with him, correct? Which he nods. He goes, right. Send me to Konoha. Which he goes, you also got one thing. Which he was like, what is it? And then basically paperwork. Which he was like, huh? Letters from Kushina. Saying that saying where you were at the time, and basically, why it took you so long to get there. In which he would nod. Even saying I even made sure basically Ki is basically a part of the Uzumaki bloodline that only awakens in those select people. Which was right. Basically, though, she also says, "Oh yes, Cell, I also gave you humanity. Basically the ability to feel for people and basically care for them, along with to be cruel." Which he sighs, like, this is gonna be a problem. Which she just chuckles, goes like, I know what you're going to say. Which he goes, yes, I know, but for some reason, I don't know why I was going to say it. She goes, go on. This is going to be troublesome. Which she nods. And so she sends Cell away. So she goes back to sipping her tea, as then the Shimigami appears. As then the Shimigami goes, so he has returned. She goes, yes, and you cannot do anything since he's alive again. He may have his humanity, but he's still an android, Shimigami. Which he growls out, says, his soul was mine. Payment. And before he could say anything, Killer Tent goes in the room as then, Kami, turns into Kami, says, and simple put, you got it, but fate took him. Get over it. It's been how many years? Which he just grumbles, goes, besides, with Cell here, we can have certain events happen differently, like the Akatsuki and Orochimaru. After all, those people like to play God. And I want them to know, basically, God's wrath has been sent out. When he remembers everything, though, that is when Konoha would truly fear what they have done to the boy. Which Shimigami would just nod and leave. Which Kami would take a sip of his drink and then change back to basically being, basically what he was before. And basically now she sighs. He was like, I do like people underestimating me and they forget who I am. But still, it gets so annoying. So yeah. So in a sense, Cell arrives outside the village. And since he basically already got a good sense of the kid's life energy, he basically closes his eyes immediately, and well, when he senses it's faint, Cell does not hesitate. He just dashes right into Konoha. Well, right towards Konoha, into the gate, going right towards basically who's attacking Naruto and where Naruto is. And when he gets basically to not a field, more like a park area with basically where there was no one around at the time, conveniently, and seeing basically a group of people basically trying to hurt Naruto, Cell immediately basically goes right through the crowd, not killing them, but throwing them away, pick up the boy in one arm, and just seeing basically the damage. And he can tell by looking at it, bruising but broken bones, and basically probably maybe internal bleeding, punctured lung, brain damage, because eyes basically swollen shut, and maybe even eyes basically bleeding. He literally is growling. He was like, "You truly are demons." Which they, hearing this stranger calling them that, he was like, "What are you, a demon lover?" where she goes, "I said you're demons." But we are not demons. We are trying to avenge the fourth Hokage and kill this monster. Kill this demon brat. And avenge him and all the basically the people we. Before they even say anything, all of a sudden Cell raises up his ki as the ground, not the ground, but the ground starts shaking as it starts lifting up. And he goes, "I'm not gonna kill any of you, but." As then basically he has this, light energy coming off his finger. He knows his aura is not, well, basically, it's a little bit lighter than it was, basically a little bit, and he just doesn't even care, but he basically has basically one of Frieza's moves. He goes, "I'm gonna make you wish though you were dead." As then he starts shooting them all with basically ki. As then basically, you know how when Piccolo was, being demolished in Frieza's second form, with just using those basically beams of, energy hitting him and such? Yeah, imagine that, but for basically Cell's doing it in rapid succession just so he can get to the hospital. But yeah, those civilians, oh man, they wish they were dead because it hurts. It felt like it was hit by a truck. Some of them actually had the ki go right through them, not killing them, but man, it's gonna hurt them for a very long time. As Cell basically rushes towards the basically hospital. As right when basically he left, Hiruzen came by with basically his Anbu and some Jonin, and basically they sense a power since Cell is basically using ki. This unknown power is basically, going to the hospital. They rush over while he had some Anbu take care of the wounded civilians, and, well, since they're blood, take them to Ibiki to find out after they get healed. So yes, so when Cell arrives to the hospital, he basically gets through the door and legit does not wait for the doctors or nurse to look at him, and he just rushes right to a basically room. That is basically to help Naruto, basically to heal. He's basically already, since he has knowledge of basically what is the world can, medical knowledge and such, and basically of everything. That includes machinery. He's basically, making sure everything's done with Naruto, as he's basically taking a good amount of his blood, and basically, put into an IV to where basically he puts in Naruto to replenish whatever blood was lost. As then he starts to use, basically use medical ninjutsu at least. To what he knows his basically chakra control could handle. So after basically about good 20 minutes of this happening, Hiruzen comes in and seeing Naruto as basically this random stranger is hailing basically his surrogate grandson. As he asks, "Who are you? And what are you doing with Naruto?" As he's basically, getting ready, or about to get ready to launch an attack at him with some Anbu sheathing their sword, unsheathing their swords, as he goes, "Saving him. He almost died. If you were late, or if I didn't arrive on time, he would have died." Which shocked some of the most of the Anbu and Hiruzen, which, to be fair, Hiruzen wouldn't believe because of the nine-tail, chakra, which basically Cell just sighs in relief and like, "I fixed the major problem. His lungs, I resetted his ribs that was punched from his lung, and basically fixed more of the damage that basically was not being healed right away. Now I just have to wait till basically the blood transfusion is done, and then he'll be perfectly fine." Which Hiruzen says, "Who are you?" He goes, Cell looks over at him, just throws him basically a letter, which he catches it, and to his surprise, it's from Kushina, stating that basically her beloved cousin needs to come by to Konoha, wherever he is in the world. And he is halfway around the world. She'll understand if if he gets there a few years basically late to see basically her son or her child being born and such. And basically goes on to say, if anything happens, to look after him, since Jiraiya and Tsunade probably won't. and basically asking her just to keep an if she if he doesn't want to, just at least keep an eye on him and help him, in any way possible. Which Hiruzen sees this as legit Kushina's handwriting, which he asked. It doesn't say your name. It goes, Sel Uzumaki, which that shocks everyone. But Hiruzen goes like, Uzumaki, but you don't have the red hair. Yeah, it's a side effect due to my Kekai Genkai. Which, he goes, wait, what do you mean? He goes, the key part of it, of the Uzumaki clan, which Hiruzen remembers, reading it and gulps a bit. Because the side effects would vary of them have a different hair color. Which, Cammy put that in just so Cell would not have a problem with his, green hair. Just as a deterrent. Just in case, which he goes, so that means, yes, I have key. And, well, when I arrived, I decided to just basically check to see where my nephew was, my cousin's son was, and to my surprise, his energy was so low he basically nearly died. It didn't matter how much healing would have happened, he would have been dead. Which Hiruzen's heart sank hearing that. And those people that I injured, yeah, they were the one that did it. So, I'm here basically gonna keep my cousin's kid safe. And if you have a problem, and then he's just raising up his key. He was like, I will end your resistance. Which, yeah, the powers basically rise very quickly. Shows Cell is not messing around. Which Hiruzen nods. So, he says he'll, get a council. He's gonna have a council meeting. He'll need to be there, and to explain his actions. And he goes, "I don't care. I will not leave until basically my cousin's kid is safe." So, Cell basically takes a seat and waiting for basically Naruto to be fully healed, and for basically the Fox's chakra to be done with. So, and basically for the whole entire, basically nanites and basically his blood that are basically working into Naruto's now bloodstream is doing the work. So basically Hiruzen is basically calling up the meeting, explaining what happens, but it does take a while for them to get there. It's like an hour or two. So in that hour, the blood is gone from basically the bag, as Cell basically burns it with basically key blast, so they can never basically get any basically blood from it or excess, just in case. As then he waits. The Night Knights are doing the job along with the QB. The QB actually hearing everything from the seal knows Kushina, never had a cousin, but after basically trying to basically go through its memories, it kind of knows a few things are different happening to Naruto. So he looked into what's happening, and a little tiny, he thinks, nuisance or problems, and he tries to kill them, but for some reason they don't die, are basically helping Naruto. They're increasing his bone structure, his density, his basically metabolism, and his basically DNA-wise is changing. So in a sense, this actually, he can tell, is making the boy stronger, so he's not going to do anything more. So after that's done, and after basically he's fully healed, Cell basically picks him up, and that's when Anbu comes in and basically says for him to basically come to the, meeting. As then he goes, I do not know where it is since I am new here. So the Anbu puts a hand on the basically Cell's shoulder and sunshines them away. And when basically Cell sees the doors and they open, everyone sees Cell holding basically the boy as, they kind of notice a few new, basically, things are different about the boy. He is he has way more nutrition on his bones, and the fact that he's a little bit more basically taller, not by much, but he's also, his hair color changed from yellow to green. He's still gonna keep the blue eyes though, which everyone is shocked by, which Cell walks, into the middle as basically, as soon as basically he gets there, the civilian council was shocked and seeing the demon brat like this until they start shouting, and then Hiruzen silenced them. So Hiruzen has told them about basically Cell, being basically a cousin to an old basically ninja here, as he will explain. So in a sense, he will say, Cell, please explain who you are. He goes, I'm Cell Uzumaki. Which, that was shocked everyone, including the civilian council, because they honestly didn't even think there was Uzumaki around, or, well, anymore, and they basically thought the boy was the demon incarnate, so they thought the Uzumaki name was just a false identity. And then he goes, and I'm Kushina Uzumaki's son, well, cousin. Which, that was shocked the ninja council, and the civilians, and basically everyone in the room. So, in a sense, one of the advisors asked, you are Kushina Uzumaki's cousin. Why do we not know anything about you? Which Cell easily replies to, oh, because she knows how everyone on this council would act. Which, everyone's just blinking, and Hiruzen, he goes like, trying to get to me, basically trying to get to the family's fortune, secrets, and basically, and he's looking at the civilian council, and basically try to do whatever it takes just to get what they want, along with basically any potential candidates to their, well, let's just say, potential sides that they want. Which, when Cell says that, Danzo narrows his eyes a bit, or one eye, and so Hiruzen, makes a cough, and is like, well, is that the only reason why? Which, he goes, oh yeah, because I basically was supposed to be dead to her. Which, that would surprise everyone. He goes, which one of the ninjas asks, how's that possible? He goes, oh, well, actually, when you combine a certain group of seals together to make one new one, and then it accidentally explodes, and, well, you get sent through time and space. Which, that shocks them. So, which then basically, I would say, Sum and Izuku asks, so wait, you're from the past? Yep, and did not want to go back, since I found out the Uzumaki clan is non-existent anymore. Nearly gone. So I decided to stay here in the future, but explore the world. After, basically, I wanted to become a ninja here, but my cousin said no, and told me the reasons why, and I agreed with her after this. Which, basically, I think basically one of the other councilmen would ask, so what's your connection to the boy? Which, he just gives them like a blank stare, and then just like, really? I said, my cousin is Kushina Uzumaki, and this boy has the name Uzumaki. Which one of the council members on the civilian side is, no, that's a demon! Basically, which Cell just looks over at the person and goes like, a demon. I know a demon. And this boy's no demon. As then he makes a cruel smirk at the person. He goes like, actually, I can show you what a demon would truly do to an insect like you. As he holds up his hand as a key ball is formed. Before anyone can say anything, Cell does say he did call the boy a demon. And that is potentially saying about what he holds inside of him, right? Which, Hiruzen's eyes widen, including the ninjas, the civilians, and, his, Danzo and basically the two elders could not believe this outsider knows about this. He goes, and basically it's marked by death if he mentions anything about it. Which Hiruzen slowly nods, which the civilian council that is about to be killed goes like, Lord Akane, he cannot do this, I am part of the... As he just gets vaporized. Not even another word, just pure vaporized into dust. Which he slowly turns his head back to, well, Hiruzen, and he goes, you have basically run this village slacked, Third Hokage. you let your civilians basically talk like they own the place. Which, Hiruzen grips basically, his fist. Because, no offense, an outsider's telling him how he should run this village. And he goes, besides, if Kushina found out that you're letting people even hurt her child, she will raise this place to the ground and murder every one of you. Which, hold up. So, after everyone hearing Cell saying about, her son, the ninjas who knew her all of a sudden realizes who Naruto is because she only basically a certain blonde was always with her. And soon, right away, smacks his table with a fist, cracking it, looking at basically Hiruzen with a glare. So intensely, Hiruzen actually flinches from this and a little bit of sweat. Hisashi, gripping basically, the side of his robe, thinking basically, about Kushina and Minato, and basically the similarities that basically they had, and how foolish he was basically not to see it right away. Shikamaru's father, Choji, Ino's father, Inoichi, Choza, and Shikamaru? I think so? I don't know, but Shikamaru's father, basically, I feel ashamed for not realizing their best friend's son. And it made sense why, basically the third Hokage would not let Naruto in part of their clan, besides the whole entire one clan holding the Biju, the Jinchuriki would cause an imbalance. That made sense, but this makes a lot more sense to them. In which, basically, the Aburame head clan leader? Okay, no, it was Shino. Yeah, Shino's father. I don't know his name, really. Basically, Hive is basically acting up. Which Hiruzen thinks, oh no. I'm not making technically Hiruzen evil. I do say he does have some resentment towards Naruto in this, but he also regrets what he has to do. But at the same time, he basically was willing to let it happen, but now it's just been... his consciousness has been, eating away at him every time he looks at the boy. Yes, he has let this happen in this version of the What If, but it is, it has eaten away at him to the point where he has been truly caring for Naruto. And seeing that he was wrong to ever basically think the boy is the beast. We're placing any blame on him. But, right now, he should have realized it from right away, but he was an idiot. So, one the civilian saying, "You mean that outsider?" Which, all of a sudden, just an Anbu appears out of nowhere, stabbing the person in the back, killing the civilian council, which, this has purple hair, with a cat mask, which, Hiruzen is not shocked, but main civilian council is shocked, which, again, not really, not again, which Shikamaru's father says, an outsider, do you not realize the Uzumaki clan is basically a friendly, was a friendly ally to us, and Mita Uzumaki was basically a part of Konoha, which, that means Uzumaki were born here in Konoha, which makes anyone who's basically a part of an ally, and basically was married into basically the, Konoha, and the family is not an outsider. Which, basically, all of a sudden before anything else can said, just Sal be like, and yet, why do you let this civilian council be here and have power that basically has been taking your control, third Hokage? Easy. You are basically too soft on them, and you allow this to happen, since they are the ones who basically have been keeping you from helping the boy. Which Hiruzen has just put his head down in shame. Now then, he goes, now, because of my unique Kekai Genkai, I also have another one. My blood can only be used on family members to basically revive them near death state, but in turn, they would become my, how should you say, children. They'll have my DNA, basically, and get my unique Keikai Genkai. Not the whole entire DNA, the blood sharing would turn them. No, just the key. So, as my cousin asked me to, I will watch over the boy and basically help him. And I already know who the father is since basically Kushina already told me. So, I would like to have my, well, niece, no, niece, nephew, well, based on my cousin's kid. Yeah, that works. I didn't know how to say it right, so I was kind of trying to go over my head, and I said niece or nephew just to see if it fits. But yeah, no, cousin's kid, rifle home, which he sends a glare to Hiruzen, and basically he just before anyone can say anything, he starts using his ki, raising up really high, which is suffocating to them. Which Hiruzen just nods and has an Anbu grabs basically the grabs basically the Uzumaki. Well, really, the Uzumaki / Namikaze's home key. So yes, Cell does that, and well, let's just say this: after he leaves, the civilian council was disbanded, and well, the council will not be there only in the times of war. So Danzo lost many political things, but the daimyo, when basically Cell gets to the Namikaze home / Uzumaki, he does send basically a letter to the daimyo, because, well, meanwhile, when that's all happened, the daimyo gets someone appearing in front of him with a basically golden light, which this is basically what we would know about the daimyo, what they all being. Basically, still basically a figurehead, but not corrupt person, and basically, always sitting down, not a ninja, have non-ninja experience in this one, just be a regular person. Which, he's a fair leader, which, in a sense, when the light happens in his office as he basically doing the paperwork, all of a sudden he goes up, which there was no, samurai, which he's kind of worried, but doesn't look away, as all of a sudden, basically, a woman appears in front of him, elegant, beautiful, basically something that he would have wanted, but he's a married man and has, his kids, so he would ask, who are you, and how did you get to my home? Which basically, he sees the woman bow, and goes like, well, fire daimyo, I am, how should you say this, Kami or Kami? Which one would you prefer? Which he goes, anyone preferring? Are you saying you're a god? As in basically just change the forms and, well, suddenly snapping the fingers as in they basically appear in basically Kami's home. Or Kami's home. And he says, yes, I am. You see, I have alternate reality and quite a few memories, including yours. You remember Cell Uzumaki, correct? Which he does not. He goes like, well, that is not basically the truth. You see, I decided to, do this just so because a letter will be coming to you about the treatment basically that the boy has been given. Which he goes, wait, who? What boy? He would say Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, which shocks him. He did not know this boy existed, which he was explaining who the boy's parents are, which he knew about Kushina. He was on friendly terms with her. Minato, he also has met basically a couple of times and basically talked through letters. They were not friends, but, acquaintances, and he basically had a highly respect for both of them. In a sense, he would ask what happened to their son. And he explains about the night of the Jinchuriki, Naruto became a Jinchuriki and such, and yes, this enrages the daimyo quite a bit. But he would then ask about Cell Uzumaki. Why are you saying you need to tell me about him? So he shows who Cell was, which he's in shock, and he goes like, how? As then Kami raised up his hand, which immediately stops because he can tell about the aura around him that, this is not a negotiable thing. And he will explain, a monster to basically help a boy out in need around the monsters. That is why I brought him here. And basically, to to bring him back to his original world. Which this was shocked. Basically, the daimyo goes like, "What do you mean? Reincarnation is real," Kami will say. And Fate decided to reincarnate Cell, or his previous name, which will not be told to you yet, into the world where he became Cell. In a sense, while Cell was being made, Kami added basically the person's DNA and soul into the mix without anyone knowing. Not even basically Dr. Jarrell, you know who I mean. It's just, I have a hard time speaking his name, so yeah. The one who basically was assigned to Red Ribbon Army in the Dragon Ball series. As he would explain that, and basically Fate infused that soul into Cell's being, but letting the programming basically take most hold until he gets back to his original world, which I was supposed to bring him back as I did. So his real personality will basically be brought forth, and he will feel regret for everything he has done. Unless the people of this world basically make him still be as perfect Cell. Which basically the daimyo would nod. And just ask, is the world in danger, or is my people in danger? Which he nods no. He just says Cell will train basically Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze and treat him like his own son. And I do hope basically you do not have any hatred towards him, since he technically could destroy the planet. Which, that just made the daimyo's basically brain stop working for a few minutes. Then he gets out of his stupor and be like, yes, I won't. So, Kami would nod and basically say Cell is willing to help out Naruto to become stronger. And LBU will also help out whenever needed. So yeah. Cell would just inform the daimyo about the boy, basically treatment in the village, and yeah, when the daimyo heard that, he's not gonna do anything since it's already taken care of, but, well, anytime he basically gonna go to the village with his next meal for Ruzin, he's gonna bring quite a couple of things for the boy and Cell. So, we go to where Naruto's waking up. Naruto's waking up in a bed not of his own, in this weird place, which he goes, huh? Where am I? What's happening? And this is basically 7 to 6-year-old Naruto, so yeah. Naruto basically, smells something, but he's wary and basically creeps through the place, and then he just sees this man cooking something for him. But he goes, you're awake. Good. Sit down and basically wait for dinner. Which Naruto is just kind of wary, so he does so, but not really trusting the person. As then he puts a plate down for him, and then Cell basically puts a plate down for himself, gets both of them something to drink, and he basically says, before you start eating, do not worry, it's not poisonous. 2, I'm going to be taking care of you for a while. Well, as long as you need, and maybe be a full-time, basically, how should I say, guardian? If I'm right. Which Naruto goes like, what do you mean? He goes, well, I'm your mother's cousin. And before he even gets any further, Naruto goes, wait, you're my mom's cousin? Can you tell me about my mom? Please, can you even tell me who my dad is? As he stops the boy from talking, he goes like, I'll tell you on good time. But first, I'm taking care of you since I got the letter not that long ago. Which, he goes, how long ago? 3 months. Which, he goes, wait, did you even know about my existence in 3 months? He nods no. He sighs, he goes like, I lived very far away from the elemental nations. So far, in fact, that basically the carrier bird basically died on the spot after giving me the message. Which Naruto's eyes widen and he goes like, how long did it... So wait, I'm 6, well, almost turned 7. It took 6 to 7 years for it to find you? Which he nods. But how did you... He goes, that's due to basically a key. He goes, key? You'll find out more about it. But I would say I would start training you in many things, Naruto. And, first off, we'll basically begin to know each other. and will basically be training you harshly in basically how to control your chakra and your ki. Understand me? Which Naruto basically would be confused until Cell gives him a little bit of a glare, which he nods really quickly. He goes, "Good. Now eat up. You're going to be resting today, basically due to your amount of changes that I will tell you about." So basically Cell starts eating first, and then Naruto starts eating. So yes, should I go into it? It's been taking a bit for me going through everything, so a time skip happens. Alright, this is the day of the basically academy where they become Genin. Cell has taught Naruto everything he could. Basically from his, and even told him about his unique bloodline, and when they started, until he was 10, Cell never told him about his past, but he did explain about his mother. From basically, well, what Kami slash Kami told him, and Naruto was happy to hear this, and basically even learned from basically the Uzumaki and basically Namikaze scrolls, gain more intelligence way more quicker, and Cell taught him basically everything he knew about Ki, basically what attacks. He even taught basically some of, well, as Kami slash Kami's gift to Cell for doing such a good job, learned the experience of basically the DNA of what basically of the people he had in them has done. And let's just say this, he was happy to see basically Goku's life, Vegeta's life was a little bit, understandable since they're warriors, but Frieza's was absolutely, he was disgusted by it to his, shock and amusement. And then basically his whole entire basically time as Piccolo, he actually was kind of amazed. So, experience. So he incorporated everything he knew about basically Goku, Vegeta, Cell, basically himself, Frieza, and Piccolo's basically fighting style into basically Naruto. Basically, he learned about the hermit, style, Vegeta's combat style, Piccolo's combat style, and basically Frieza's to make him very good at taijutsu. His ki basically with him training physically, basically meditating mentally, and him also working with his chakra control, training, becoming a ninja and such, he's very, very, very quickly growing in strength. And, Cell also has been training with Naruto. He has also met Kakashi, Might Guy, Asuma Kurenai, Enko, Yugao, Hayate. He has met basically many of the Jonins, and, Guy was the one person he actually enjoyed weirdly hanging out with. They train, they basically spar, they basically, actually throw ideas for taijutsus, styles, and he even helped out God with making some, new ones and basically what their profits could be. Even basically helping, even Naruto come up with a new taijutsu style. Kakashi, basically, he did not like him very much, but at the same time, he did not hate him. It's just, he was just not very proud of him, or you could call it, he was disappointed in Kakashi. But yes. Also, basically, because of the freaking ninja school, the teachers there at the academy not teaching Naruto properly, Cell had to teach him, and basically they tried to teach Naruto wrong, and they said his basically, he also called Cell dad once, which made him weirdly happy. He just says, "You call me dad or whatever you want," which Naruto's always called him dad now. So Cell has been basically, told Naruto to tell them that his dad's been training him and basically teaching him right, since they've been trying to teach him wrong, which really got the irritation of the teachers and saying his father's wrong. This is how you do it, which Naruto has done say, "Spar me," which they gladly tried to, which a kid beating up a basically Chunin, which should not happen because he has ki and chakra. It was a one-sided fight. It was not easy for them, and that was the funny part for Naruto. So after everything that happened between them, the headmaster of the academy tried to get rid of Naruto by expelling him. But The Hokage! Yeah, the Hokage basically asked why, and basically Naruto said why. And through Inoichi's basically, help, he found out basically the truth, which the headmaster was was basically Ibiki and fired, which a new one that did not hate Naruto was there, and then the teachers were changed, or basically put into basically, not allowed to be teaching, which some of them basically blame Naruto, but one person basically set them all straight, saying basically it was your own fault. Yes, and the clan heads have been, well, been there for Naruto. They have always never hated him to begin with, but now they're openly talking to him, trying to see how his day went, and becoming friends with. Inoichi has been trying to get Sakura and Ino, basically trying to be friends with, but they refuse to because of Sasuke, and he actually tells Ino to basically not to like Sasuke since he's a danger, which Ino says no he's not, basically blah blah blah. Yeah. He just sighs and just doesn't say much anything else. But once in a while, Inoichi just asks her why did she like, Sasuke so much. But yeah, anyway, so like I said, it's the day that the Genin exams, which Naruto does not want to become Rookie of the Year, he wants to be in the middle. And that's where he wants to stay. So that's where he's been. But since it's the day of the whole entire Genin exam. Oh wait, would I forget anything else? Yeah. Cell, I think I said already. Cell told him Cell also told Naruto who he was and what he's done, and basically said that he basically, described what he looked like, and even drew a picture, which he was actually shot, and told him about the tail, what it did, and that what that was used for, which shocked and horrified Naruto. And he did say that that's how he was designed to do. And basically, so he can basically get an android 17 and 18 and basically then become the perfect being, as then he showed each state what he was like after getting an android. And then explained on basically how he was defeated. But he basically says, though, due to him becoming human and still being an android and everything, which he also has humanity, he does regret it. But at the same time, he doesn't, which Naruto asks why, due to a little bit of fear, but he says with a smile, because I got to meet you. Which Naruto was in shock, but then actually had some tears in his eyes and started crying, which Naruto just petted his head. Which still has gained a bit of memories, not clear ones, but memories nevertheless of basically someone with red hair. That's it. Basically, and quite a few people. But nothing anymore. So yeah, now it's the time for the Genin exams, and Cell told Naruto in the morning to legit not hold back. Not hold back his ninja skills, hold back on the ki, which Naruto nods. So, when Naruto gets there, he says hi to Shikamaru, Choji, Kiba, Ino, who actually became friendly terms with Naruto, since his intelligence has increased. He still has like the goofball idiot, but Ino kind of realized that was a mask he was having when he was a kid, due to Inoichi's teaching her some things about masks and such, and how people hide pain, but now Naruto is open, and the true smile is so different, which Sakura still does not like Naruto. But yeah. He also says hi to Shino and Hinata, which they do. Say hi back, but Hinata says with her still stutter. So, everything from there will technically go the same, but, basically, Mizuki basically does not, tries to put a genjutsu on basically the test for Naruto. Naruto dispels it, writes down basically, the right answers, the fighting portion. Mizuki tries to basically go all out on Naruto, which Naruto is basically mid-chunin or high high chunin to low jonin in speech and strength, and basically as with his ninja, but with ki, he's an S-rank ninja. So yes, Mizuki could not lay a hit on Naruto, and he basically made it a one-sided fight. And that made Mizuki mad. So, for the ninja portion, ninjutsu, you know, basically substitute with a log, and then basically the transformation jutsu, he transforms into basically his father, Cell, and then basically then he basically does the shadow clone jutsu, which Naruto asks why did Naruto use shadow clone, which he goes, oh, I asked, basically Gigi about it. He says since I had so much chakra, this only stated to use the clone jutsu, it never said what type of clone jutsu. So since I have so much reserves, I can only basically make Kage Bunchins, which Iruka thinks about it, then nods. Iruka still becomes the brother slash father figure, not a father figure in his life, but that friendship, that relationship does not change. Because he sees Naruto for him, Mizuki's mad. So, in this case, Naruto gets his headband, his friends are, happy. Cell's there to pick him up, talking to basically the said people's parents, which Hazashi actually comes and picks up Hinata. You see, I think with Cell being there, Hazashi may have actually, came to Cell for some guidance on basically how to basically get his daughter to stop being such... Well, he would not say as his clan would call her worthless, as in he just asked, how do you treat her? Which, in a sense, yeah. And then basically he just sighs, and basically he would say, look at her mental affinity, and then basically come up with, then see it. And basically it's due to basically your clan, and maybe you actually calling her, or belittling her to where she's having problems with her self-confidence. So yes, Hinata does not get any reprimand for her father for having a different chakra nature than what the Juken, basically the Juken strikes do, or basically, I forgot the name of it, the Hyuga Clan's fine style, gentle palm technique? Yeah. He can't, basically though, because she takes after her mother. So, in a sense, he basically does help her find a way how to make a new fighting style with her flexibility and basically the flow because it's water, which is frowned upon in basically the Hyuga clan, which basically the Hyuga's elders did try to say that she should be branded, and basically it's a blasphemy, which, I don't think because of Cell being here, Hazashi's gonna take any crap from them. But he basically legit may have or may not have basically let them experience how basically it is to be a caged bird. So yeah. Anyways, Hinata gained some self-confidence due to her father now being nice and, being a proper father. So yes, they all will go out and do something. But because of Naruto knowing Mizuki's been trying to mess up with him, he would tell Cell when they basically are just walking, behind the group, which Cell would say, I'll keep an eye on his, key, just go have your fun, which Naruto would just nod. So, after that, well, the party is going on, Mizuki would steal the scroll, which Cell would leave, instant transmission to him, which Naruto may or may not have learned through watching Cell doing it one time, and left the party like that, which he watches Cell, which he wants to see his father figure in action, which he hears Cell goes like, well, Mizuki, I didn't think you'd stoop so low to basically being this way. Which Mizuki turns around and sees basically Cell. He was like, You're the Demon Brat's kid. Well, not kid, I mean Demon Brat's guardian. He goes, oh, you think my son is a demon? What? Why is that? Which basically he goes, oh, you don't know? So he would tell about basically how Naruto is the nine-tailed fox, how because the fourth Hokage is sealed inside of him, and blah blah blah. Naruto's in shock, then in rage, and then basically about to cry until Cell goes like, so what? I'm more of a monster than that beast. I basically destroyed a whole entire town, cities, people's lives, just so I can basically get to my ambition, become a perfect being. Do you really think a humongous nine-tailed fox would have been sealed into a child, and that child is the Nine Tails? Are you so much of a fool to think that? That Naruto Uzumaki is the Nine Tails. As in basically, the rage in Cell's eyes makes Mizuki step back a bit in, being afraid. As Naruto's eyes widen, he goes like, "Why do you care about him so much? You, you, you didn't. Just because you raised him, doesn't make him basically he's not a demon." He goes, which Cell smirks. "I raised him because I care for him. I raised him because I truly do think he become Hokage, and I do truly have a bond with him that will never be broken by such fools like you. If basically this village killed him, I would destroy this planet in a second." Which, that would shock Naruto by how his father figure, slash father, really, would be so distraught to hear him basically be dead, that he would destroy the planet because of the villagers, which Mizuki steps back even more. So just says, "So, traitor," as he clenches his fist, "let's see how you like to be treated as a punching bag." And so, with blinded speed, Cell beats down Mizuki, giving him no time to do anything, making sure Mizuki feels every force of his bones being broken, shattering, some of them even turn to dust, and basically him coughing up blood. Basically, Mizuki can't even basically get up after Cell is done with him, as he is truly in a bloody state. As Cell just looks at him and goes like, he kind of has a cruel smile, goes like, "Now then, let's take you back to Ibiki and Co. and see how much you'll scream and tell us what, or should I say, who you're working for." As he picks up the scroll and then him, and then he tells Naruto, "Get back to the party and enjoy yourself for your graduation." Which Naruto basically, makes a yell, which Cell just chuckles at that, and and Naruto instant transmission back to the party, in which Cell goes, "Kids," and then he looks back at Mizuki with a glare and goes like, "Let's go," as he disappears very quickly. Now, I do have to basically go do something, so I'm gonna have to end it here. I do hope you guys like this part. I hope you guys have a nice day, night, wherever you are. Bye everyone.